Let me get this all set up here. I think we're going live right now. Hi friends, Lindsay here for Swing Design. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining me. We are doing another fun project, this time using the Cameo 4. One of the things that I love just so much about this machine, one of the reasons why I purchased it in the first place is because of the Rotary Blade. Yes, the Rotary Blade allows you to cut like thin fabric and felt without a backing to it. So I totally fell in love with that feature, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So if we've got some people out there, if you could just go ahead and say hi, let me know you can hear me. Let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to know who's out there. But we'll just go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and just switch this camera around here. And there we are. There she is, the Cameo 4. And I love doing paper crafts. So, you know, never give up my paper crafting. So I made this cute little bunny box. Isn't it adorable? And then I just used a sketch pen and sketched the little face on it before I glued it together. But I was thinking, you know, I could cut this out of felt and I could make a super cute little felt bunny bag. So that's what we're going to be doing. So what you'll need, of course, is a piece of felt. This is just like a 9x12 piece of felt that I got at the craft store. And I'm going to just stick it on the mat. And I'm using the regular standard tack mat, which seems to work fine. Let me see if I can get this in here a little bit better. So you can kind of see what I'm doing. So yeah, you just stick the felt on here. And you want to kind of stretch it a little bit. Definitely want it down nice and taut. All right, so I got this here, and I just had to make a few adjustments to the pattern in Silhouette Studio to get it to, you know, be able to cut out with felt. But other than that, oops, just turned it off. It is the same exact pattern. So let's go ahead and load this in here. This is the hands-free loading. There you go. Okay. So, and here is the Rotary Blade. So you see that's got a number 2 on it. That means that it's always going to go in this number 2 carriage. And then it's got that sensor on the back. So when you put it in the machine, Silhouette Studio on your computer is going to know that that's what you've got in here. One other thing I want to point out, so you can see that blade right there sticking out. But there's a safety feature on this that unscrews this part down to cover that blade. So if your rotary blade's not cutting, check to make sure that you have completely exposed the blade by spinning this piece all the way to the top, and then it'll expose the blade. And you just put that in there. Just like so. And then in Silhouette Studio, I can show you actually, if you'd like to see what I'm doing here. All right, so here is the pattern. Again, I just made a few little adjustments to the pattern to cut it out of felt because it was originally designed for paper. Oh my gosh, I really hope that my computer's been running a little slow. So I really hope that this is not a problem. But anyway, let's go back to the webcam. So yeah, I cut it out of paper originally, but I decided, you know, the Cameo 4 has the the Rotary Blade, so why not cut it out of felt. And you don't have to back the felt at all, because the rotary blade, it just kind of like glides across the, there we go. All right, so I'm going to press send. And then here we go. Now I'm using the standard just cut settings in Silhouette Studio for the felt. I found that that worked really well. But basically what it's doing, and I'll show you in Silhouette Studio as well, you have these extra loops. And so basically what the rotary blade is doing is it's cutting along that line, and then it's pivoting here to then go ahead and cut in another direction. So it's gonna add a few more cuts to it, but that is what it's doing. And eventually what you're gonna end up with are a bunch of little pieces like this, and then a little bunny face. so go ahead here, and we'll move you over to my Cricut mini press, because of course what I had to do is I had to cut out the bunny face from some HTV, and we're gonna put that on the the little bunny. I thought that would be so cute. So yeah, you for your HTV, this is Caesar Easy Weed. You would just use your auto blade. And I know these have been hard to come by, but I did see some on the website this morning. So I have all the supplies linked in the description, but I have also linked to the ratchet blade as well. So if you need to pick up a new blade for your Cameo 4, you can use either the auto blade or the ratchet blade. But then I just cut out this little face. It's actually 2 pieces of HTV. And for felt, since this is like I think it's like an acrylic felt, then I'm not gonna press this very much. I've got the mini press on the lowest setting, and I am just going to press this for like 5 seconds, moving it around while I do, because basically what I need is this to stick, but I don't want to melt the felt. No, don't want to do that. All right, and then you can peel it off. Oh my gosh, so cute. All right, and then let's go ahead and finish up this little face, and I'll show you. So cute, little bunny. And I do have the, remember we have exposed HTV, so I'm gonna put this over there, so we don't put the hot surface right against the HTV and possibly, melts it. But then, there you go. You have this cute little bunny face, and I do have the face and the pattern for the bunny basket in the description as well. All right, so let's go ahead and pivot back over here, and then we can unload this. There we go, and we can just go ahead and peel this up. Look, it just cut so perfectly. Perfect. Absolutely love it. And what you would do is, so if you're gonna sew it, you'd basically take these rectangles and sew one along each of these edges. So that's what I've done so far. And then basically you go to the edge and you sew you pinch these edges together, and this is felt, it's really pliable. And then to do the handle, I just sewed it into the seam here. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna sew this one on, and I probably would have done this, I'm gonna sew it. Probably would have done this before joining the sides, but I wanted to have this kind of a little bit done, and I'm gonna sew right down there. I wanted to have, you know, a little bit done ahead of time so we didn't have to do the whole thing. So let's actually move on over to the sewing machine. So I've got wires all over the place, and I am going to be using the Bernette B77, and it is in its power saving mode. So let's go ahead. I'm going to move the microphone closer too. Let's go ahead and tap that to get it to turn back on. And let's see if I can maybe adjust this so you can see the screen a little bit better, because I'm going to show you just a few of the functions of what the B77 can do. So I've linked to all our Bernette sewing machines in the Bernette sewing machines in the description. So even like the B35 or the B37 would be able to, you know, do a project like this as well. And so I just want, you know, like a straight stitch. See if I can bring it a little bit closer so you can see what it can do. Bring that right in there. And then do I need to focus it at all? That looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick a straight stitch and just sew right along this line here. I do want to show you the securing feature. So this button right here, it's going to basically just sew in place for however many stitches you want before sewing. So it's basically like, you know, securing your back stitch. So I'm going to turn that on, and so I'll press that, and then this little knot will show up here. And at the end, when I'm done sewing, I want another securing stitch. And so what I can do is I can press this button right in here. It's a picture of the scissors, and that's going to cut my thread. But before I cut it, I want it to do the securing stitch. So you can program it to do that. That's what I love about this machine. There's so many things that you can like customize about it. And so you do that in the settings, and you go to your stitch settings. You go to this little hand that's like pointing to the buttons. And then you click the scissors icon, and right now it's off, so I'm just gonna click that knot, and then I can tell it, you know, how many securing stitches in place I want it to do. So 3 is fine. And so then let's go ahead and go out of there. I always like the needle to well, for a project like this, to stay in the down position, so you can adjust that right there. And then you can use these knobs here to adjust the length of the stitch. I think probably 2 is fine. But then we can go ahead, and I already have my needle threaded, and you know, the bobbin's in there, and hopefully I don't mess up. But this is just a little felt project. Yeah, I definitely would have sewed this before joining the sides, but whatever, this is fine. I'm just gonna, and I'm kind of at a weird angle, so let me see if I can adjust myself a little bit. Lower the presser foot there, and then I press that little knot, so it's first going to do that securing stitch in place. And then when I get to the end here, when I press the cut thread button, it's going to do 3 securing stitches. and then cut the thread. So then there is that there. Oops, I kind of missed the edge there at the front. So let me get that back on. Okay. And then when I press it to cut, it's going to do those 3 securing stitches. But then to do, so there you go. There, it's on. Now, and then so then to join the sides, you basically just pinch it together, those sides like that. And I mean, this is really pliable. It's felt, so you can, you know, really manipulate it to get it to go where you need to go. And then you can put it back. Let's do a securing stitch before we get started. And let's bring up the and then we've got the speeder adjustment right here. So then we sewed that little side together, and then we're just going to sew this side. So the same thing, bring those together. Put that back in here. And again, let's do our securing stitch. Love to be secure. Then when we get to the end, press our scissors to cut the thread. But we programmed it to do that little stitch. And then of course I'm going to go in here and cut the little threads. But isn't that so cute? It's like a little bunny basket. So let me take us back over to the my main workstation over here. And then I'll spin you around and see if we have any questions. Because sorry, I know I've been. So Lulu is asking what cut settings for the what settings did you use? I didn't know my Cameo can cut fabric. Yes, this is with the Rotary Blade though. Let's actually move this in. Let me adjust the focus a bit. There you go. So this is, I use the Rotary Blade right in here. And in Silhouette Studio, there are pre-programmed settings. So here, I can go back to screen display. And so I chose right up here, felt acrylic. And for felt, it was just a force of 22 and a speed of 5. But then there's also, you know, this drop-down menu here. And other things you can cut with the Rotary Blade. These little arrows or, you know, triangles, it's basically letting you know, you really shouldn't cut that material with whatever blade is in carriage 2. But there's fabric in here, fabric thick, fabric thin, cotton print. You know, if you're a quilter, you can have it cut out, you know, some of your blocks or pieces for your block. So I have always had good results with the default setting, but you know, always do your test cut before. Let me go back to webcam here, and then I'll show you our finished projects. So let me just spin this around here. And sorry, I forgot to move the microphone, so I hope you could hear me. But here's what we made out of felt. I'm going to trim these little threads. But that, I love felt crafts. I think they're so cute and whimsical and just playful. And so that's one of the selling points for me with the Cameo 4 is that so cute. then you can put like a little, I mean, it's so small. You could size it, you know, considerably bigger if you wanted to put something bigger in there. But I thought, you know, you can put a little egg or, you know, something cute in there. And then we use HTV, also cut with a Cameo, the auto blade for the little face here. But the original file is made out of paper. So, and then the face is a separate face. So I've linked both those files in the description. So if you want to check out the face and then the box, you can cut that out of paper. And as you just saw, you can cut it out of felt as well. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I had such a fun time. I'll snap some pictures of these so you can see some close-ups. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad you're here. I had a lot of fun with the Rotary Blade, the Cameo 4, and then of course my Bernat B77. So if you are interested in any of the things that I used, then I've linked some of them in the description. That was the Cricut mini press, letting me know that, hey, you've had it on too long. I'm gonna turn it off now. So, if you want to check out the mini press, you can check that out too. So, anyway, bye friends. I hope you have a great rest of your day.